Hi everybody, my name's Devin and I do food distribution here at Urban Tree Connection, and I'm going to be one of your mentors this season. I know that you were just watching videos from some of the other mentors who were talking about how to plan your garden and all the steps that go into it before you actually start growing your food, and also about which plants grow well together and help each other grow to the best of their ability. And so I wanted to even further go into that discussion by thinking about what your relationship is to the land that you're growing on and how that can impact the food and medicine that you might be growing. The first thing that I wanted to think about really is where you choose to plant your garden, and some questions that can kind of guide you in deciding that would be like, is it the land that you live on? Is it in your community? Do you have any idea who lived there before you and like the origins of that land? Thinking about if the food that you're growing there, you want it to be accessible to just you? Do you want it to be accessible to your family, your friends, people on your block? Is it a spot that they can also access and stop by? And you could even ask if they want to learn about the things that you're growing and like be part of that process with you. And that can all bring a really good energy into the space and make you feel more connected to the things that you're growing. And another thing to think about is that food doesn't just have to be food. Like the stuff that you're growing doesn't have to just be for food, it can also be medicine. And we can think about different herbal plants when we're thinking about medicine, and it's, something that people have been doing for as long as people have existed. And so one example I want to go into is thinking about this plant right here, which is chamomile. And some of you might know about chamomile because people make teas out of it, and you can usually find them at the grocery store. And they're usually marketed towards being good for relaxing. This plant really helps you sleep, honestly. It helps you chill out. And so if people in your neighborhood or in your community are needing something for that, then you can say, you know what, I'm gonna plant chamomile and I'm gonna have this fresh plant that I can then offer them. They can just take a few of these buds and make a cup of tea, and it'll help them relax. And another way even further that you can think about this is that bigger corporate farms, like the farm we have here is less than an acre, it's a community farm, but those big corporate farms that are going to be creating the plants that you end up getting in your grocery store version of a chamomile tea, for example, they do harmful practices to the earth like monocropping, which is when you only plant one type of plant on the land and you're only planting it there year after year, and it really depletes the soil of all the nutrition that is there. And so we try to, as you learned with the other mentors, we try to avoid that here. We try to change up what crops go in what rows every season, and thinking about it as more of a cooperative process of like what we can give back to the land and what the land is giving to us, rather than just stripping it of all of its nutrients. So I think it's really important to think about with the land that you're going to be growing on, is how that you can care for it and make sure that it can produce food for a long time to come and not just for this season. So thanks for listening.